Okay, it's 5 o'clock. Let's call the meeting to order. First item is to consider any changes, additions, or removals to the agenda. We good?
I don't have any.
Next is to approve the minutes from the previous meeting, which was February 10th. What's the board's pleasure?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the February 10th meeting.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Comments from citizens? Or you folks are all here for Thompson, so, all right. Department head report. We just got one here somewhere.
Yep.
The highlights are the springs produced 495,000 gallons in February. Town used 219,000 gallons a day. The security cameras are up and running. We've had 6 service line freeze-ups so far this year on High Street, Andover, Pleasant, West Hill, Rock Drive, and Route 100 South. We know people are running water because we've seen the extra usage. Okay. We're still working on Thompson and Orion. We're going to talk about that. Our water tanks are in great shape, and the altitude valve is working fine. We continue to flush and blow off Deep Long Court. That's from Joe, the water operator. All right. Age receivables report. How are we doing, Penny, with the?
Continuing to make good progress. 9th of January, we were at 12,000 for over 120 days. End of January, we were at 10.8 thousand. And we're currently sitting at about 9.3. 9,300.
$9,300.
Yep.
Good job.
We will make a big push before spring comes, so we don't have to turn anyone's water off. We do have a couple people that are under a payment plan that have not made a payment in a while, so we'll need to talk about what to do with those couple account holders. Okay?
Okay. Yep.
But all in all, we're making good progress
Making
and
progress.
chipping that away.
Good deal. Item 7, review and possibly approve water allocation requests. I don't see any, so.
We don't have any.
Okay. Item 8, review and possibly approve water line replacement action plan for Thompson and Orion Avenue. I'll turn that over to you.
Right on, thank you. So what you have in front of you is very draft in terms of some of the things we've been discussing with both Davis House and the Garvey household, in terms of trying to identify where the issue is. And that's kind of what we're talking about in terms of source identification. Short term, we want to install valves on either side of those homes so we can really hopefully pinpoint where the source is in terms of the issue that we're up against. We thought we would dig when there was a little bit of a warm spell, but it didn't happen. Just wasn't the smart thing to do. So we really want to wait until the conditions permit. Okay, short term.
You have all your parts and pieces and everything's lined up when you're ready to go. Okay.
Yeah, I think you and Joe talked today about that, and Joe ordered some of the parts that are needed.
Now, there's a valve at the end of Thompson and a valve at the end of Orion, is that correct?
No.
There is not one at the
Not that
shed?
we know of.
Okay.
So what I'm proposing, or what we'd like to do is put a valve at each end where it makes the loop,
Yeah,
so that we can shut one off and flush.
reverse
the
flow
other,
and just
reverse
determine.
it, because right now, we cannot determine which way it's pulling from. When you open the hydrant up, is it pulling it from Thompson or is it pulling it from Orion? We have no idea.
And at this point, we still feel like it's just these two houses, or have we got any inclination to think that,
We haven't gotten any other complaint.
are we checking into that at all? Are we, yeah, so. And then are we gonna put any valves closer to their houses too, just to isolate that off?
We will as soon as we can. Right now, Pretty sure that's probably cast iron pipe out there.
Okay.
So I do not want a whole ram.
Yeah.
right next to
Yeah,
that.
we don't need to make more problems, yeah.
If it's an emergency, that's one thing, but,
Okay.
well, this is, I understand this is an emergency, yes, but
You don't want to, yeah.
we don't have water running down the street right now. Could very well have, use their jackhammer in most of these mains.
Okay. Were we still considering a local in-the-house option for them as well, to have some type of filter system or anything like that? Was that something that we were considering?
So I'll give these to you guys. I got 2 proposals from 2 different companies, so that's one and the other. That's-
I can make copies too. It's primarily
I
these
think I have enough.
3 need them most. You're fine.
Okay.
That should be good.
Got them?
So there's a significant discrepancy between
Yeah, I see that.
the 2 numbers.
Sure.
One is 2,800, and the other one is basically double that. For basically something to be installed that would alleviate or eliminate the issues with the iron-related bacteria, and the iron that's also in the water. Assuming that if this is something to be considered, one is 2,800, and the other one is 5,600.
Are they both apples to apples? I mean, same,
That's, yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a different brand of filter,
okay.
that's included in there. But it's the same type of filter.
Right.
Filter will do the same job. And Dan's Waterman Service, which is the lower bid, or lower quote that I got, because of the proximity of the job, said that there'd be some sort of, they didn't put a number on it, but there'd be some sort of discount if you did both on the same day.
And this is something that goes in your basement or wherever?
Correct.
Okay. And this is a much more robust filter system than what you,
It's not an inline filter.
Okay.
So it's not just something where you know,
Screw it on.
It has to be serviced, but
Right.
it'll run through its flushing system at night and so on and so forth, but it's a different,
Process.
I think there's,
Yeah,
in the
I see.
attachment, there's
Yeah.
a picture of what he's proposing to install. So I didn't expect that large of a discrepancy in the numbers, and I did confirm with both vendors that it's basically the same job. The only thing that's in there from the quote for the master is basically like a shock of the existing water system, which is I think they call it a chlorine shock, which is, I think there's a $900 line item on that. I don't know the benefit of that,
I don't either. Yeah.
with it not being, I've heard of that being done with wells.
Wells, yeah.
So being town water, I
Chlorinated, yeah.
don't really know the benefit of that, so if you took that out of that number, there's still a big gap.
In Dan's water treatment, you worked with them in your business? Or?
Dan services like $3
Okay.
and $4 million houses up on the mountain, like he's pretty well versed, and he actually ran all of his own tests when he was at the house to do the
Okay.
proposal. And basically came up with the same conclusion,
Mhm.
that it's iron and iron-related bacteria. So the test results that we got from the state
Mhm.
mirror what he kind of came up with.
Okay.
So he did recommend also that to not tax the system, that there be not if you're watering your garden or washing your cars, that there be some sort of bypass through the system to not overtax it. So that you're not, when you're washing your car, you're not really concerned about iron-free water. That worked out good for my pepper garden, because peppers like iron. So we bypassed that if we were, if you guys decided to do that, but that was one recommendation that he did make.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like a short-term solution. We just want to make sure that I don't know anything about water filters, so, but we, just we can look into a penny. I have someone just agree that it'll work, and I'm not opposed to doing this. I mean,
They would replace what you currently have.
I don't know that it would necessarily replace the inline filter, because the one thing that I think that needs to be pointed out is that 16 Thompson, their sample, it's not an apples to apples sample. So when the water samples were taken, their sample was taken after the filter. So the filter that 16 Thompson has installed in their house is an inline filter similar to ours. They didn't have a valve similar to ours so that I could shut the inline filter off and take the sample directly from the main.
And our filter was off when they came to take the sample, but we, hindsight being what it is, he should have run that water for a good 10 minutes or something to flush out what was already in the pipes in the system that had been processed through the filter. So while that would sort of explain the discrepancy in the iron related bacteria, the other side of that, though, is that our regular iron is extremely high, and therefore would be even higher, like, consider.
I think ours was 3.7.
And ours was like 6.4.
6.5, yeah. So,
Doesn't make any sense. Our shut-offs are directly across the street from each other. I mean, they're literally feet apart coming off.
So I don't know, I'm not a water expert, but just would make sense,
but the IRB number in our test results were 9,000.
where ours was 25.
So the IRB is probably being filtered out by their filter, and the IRB, with, our sample was taken before the filter, which would make sense for that large discrepancy. We didn't have filters.
right. Okay. Penny?
I'd like to pursue this
I would think it would be the way to go.
and work with Ron on talking with one of our water engineering firms. Maybe have them look at this as well.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to filters. I think it's time for filters. I just want to make sure that they're the right size and they're going to do what you want to do. You don't want to do it twice.
No, I mean, I've gone through the legwork
Okay.
and had,
Yep.
both, and I emailed both test results the test results from 15 and 16 to both companies and asked for them to give me a direct quote. And also had Dan's Waterman service at our house to run his tests and confirm the tests from the state. So, Dan's been doing it for a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Okay.
been doing it for 30 years.
Maybe we just go with one of them.
What's the lead time if you ordered it?
Masters would be quicker. Dan's kind of a one-man show, so he'd be 2 to 3 weeks, is where he was at, which at this stage in the game,
Yeah.
I was about to say,
I
what's
hear
your
you.
comfort level with that? Are we?
that's fine.
Okay, fine.
If you guys decided to make a
Yeah.
motion on it and approve it tonight,
Yeah.
I mean, 2 to 3 weeks is, tolerable.
We've been this long.
Yeah.
Did they go into your house?
Yeah.
Did they look at
No.
yours?
No, they didn't. but
Dan's
I
did not
mean,
go into his house.
it's-
But I did send Dan's Waterman Service
Yep.
16's results, and they confirmed that the filter that he quoted in his estimate to us would suffice for their iron and iron-related bacteria levels.
Similar plumbing access in both houses, the quote's not gonna change much if we go with it.
No, and if anything, when I talked to their receptionist slash his wife today, they would probably try and clean it up a little bit if they could do both in the same day.
Okay.
Because it's not 2 trips.
Okay. Yeah, I think we need to do something here.
I'm comfortable with, yeah, I feel that way.
So do you want a motion from us, Penny, to approve this?
Yep.
I'll
And-
make the motion to move forward with Dan's water treatment quote.
For how much?
For, looks like
It's kind of a scratch, it's tough to
280313.
read.
Okay. Per installation?
Yeah, per installations for both for 15 and 16 Thompson Ave.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, so we're making progress.
And then do you need a yay or nay on your plan as well?
Well, I'd like a little feedback, that's why it's a draft. So we have multiple things happening, right?
Mhm.
We have the drinking water service coming weekly. I know the schedule gets a little wonky sometimes, but I think you got it direct with Diane in terms of trying to get that figured out. So hopefully that's working. You can see what we've got here for short term. We just talked about that, digging that up, getting the right valves put in so we can help pinpoint maybe where the source is occurring. The other immediate need, and I'll add it to this, the goal here is to get everything in writing so that you all have a game plan. We can all kind of agree on the game plan and then adjust as needed. I will add what you all just approved in here. The last piece, and that's the long-term piece, is where I'd like a little direction in terms of sending out an RFQ, asking for the engineering firms.
You're gonna send that to engineering firms, they're gonna send you their qualifications, there's a handful, there's several do it around here, and then, like, you're asking for it back by April, which is probably doable. And then then the board will pick one, and we'll start down the path, you'll have to start some design, go down that road. The funding deal is the other
Yep.
the other issue. You know, we talked about last fall changing some pipe out between Thompson and Orion. Is that something we're still thinking about?
We have the pipe, we have everything ready to go with that
Yeah.
in winter hit, so that could go just as quick as
Yeah.
Linda here, if you still wanna go that route.
I have some questions
Yep.
on that, though.
Go ahead,
I
yep.
definitely am, I can't say that feel very different from Chris. The question of, does that redundancy, is it needed? Is it something that we need to take on if we put these valves in and determine that the problem is not in that section of pipe? It could be on the other side of their houses.
Could
So
be.
I think we still have some exploratory work to go
Mhm.
before we can say that's where the investment should go. And I don't really know the history as to why that was even looped together.
You tend to have loops for pressure. If you
Yeah.
have a loop, you increase your pressure.
Yeah.
Those are small lines, and that's why they loop things. And every time we unloop something around here, we end up with pressure problems or whatnot, because we did that on Gill Terrace.
Okay.
Going up Gill Terrace, there used to be a line that went from the High Street up the big hill, and we cut that off. We severed it because there's another line that feeds that upper area. Once we severed that, because it was old pipe, and now the last house going up Gill Terrace on the left, they have a bit of dirty water occasionally, so we're always running things into hydrants.
Okay.
On Plumley Avenue, when we lost a stream crossing from the flood, we've had some issues up there because it's just being fed from one way, so you try to do a loop.
So I guess when we put these valves in and we start.
That's what's
shutting
gonna
things
tell
off,
you,
we're gonna
and I
find
think
that
if you
out.
put some valves in, you'll be able to isolate where the water's coming, you can be able to turn the water different directions, and I was even thinking maybe you put some valves in, can you turn that water back around, and there's a fire hydrant right by the old state garage, and dump it out there. And that'll flush those whole two streets, will go right out through there. You can valve Prospect Street off and dump it right out there.
They should be able to, yes.
Yeah, I would think so too, once you can isolate some stuff.
When was the loop put in?
Back when they put the street in. I mean, back when, I think that was on the 50s up there. I've done a lot of surveying up there.
So the loop was installed,
I believe so. I mean, I don't know for sure, but
because that's a different diameter line than what's
Is
in
it?
the street.
I don't know
'Cause
that.
we had a break, there was a break in
Yeah.
our backyard
Mhm.
2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah,
2 weeks after the flood.
Right.
yeah,
And
And
that's,
that was when I started getting problems, just
Yeah.
like that, like the next
yeah.
day or two
I don't know
after.
then. I was just assuming that it was probably all done at once, but I don't know then.
yeah.
Nobody knows, really.
I know.
That's the problem.
Because one thing that just to throw it out there, and Bill and I talked about this, if you could isolate the problem, and right below or right after, or before, depending on which way you're going, right before Terry Thane's house, there's a hydrant right there.
Mhm.
And if the problem is after that, I mean, does it make sense to take the pipe that's there and redo from the hydrant to the loop?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a question for an engineer.
Yeah, I think that's what.
What I keep coming back to, Chris, is that the way that's fed, there's a valve on High Street and Orion, High Street and Thompson, they're
Right.
open. They all push to the back, and as flows change, the water goes back and forth, but I think the sediment is getting stuck in the back, because it's just sitting there. That's why you put some valves in, you'll be able to flush it right around and push all that stuff, I'm thinking, out, but I don't know.
With that new yard hydrant they put in on my lawn, you can squeeze a 2.5 together like that.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm just
So, I mean,
spitballing.
that line cannot be
No,
anymore,
no, it's not.
just because the sediment is there.
Yeah,
But the hydrant down by Terry's doesn't have any.
no, I know, yeah,
There's nothing there.
yeah. But-
So once we have an engineering firm identified,
Yes, then you have a
We
better
can meet
idea of what
with-
you want to fix.
we can meet with
Right,
the owners.
right.
We can talk about troubleshooting all
Exactly.
these things.
Yep.
Does it make sense to then put in that horseshoe? Do you put the valves in? Do you dead end it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking, but let's maybe identify the engineering firm.
Yeah, I mean, and those valves out at the end, I mean, I think that's not gonna hurt anything anyways, then you'll be able to flush better, but you
You're gonna need those anyway.
You're gonna need them, yes, you're gonna need them
Yeah.
anyways, so.
Because in conversations that I've had with Joe, he's said to me that on streets where there's a dead end, they don't have problems with water quality.
Okay. All right,
I don't.
yeah, no, that's, okay.
So I'm just saying, if there's,
Right.
now that there's a valve at the end of the street, or a blow off at the end of
Right.
the street, put a blow off at the end of Orion.
Mhm.
I mean, because that's not a small expense to
Yeah,
do that loop and then leave the main going down Thompson and the main going down Orion. I'll go back
Yeah.
to, 2 meetings ago,
Yeah.
I just hate to see the town spend that money.
Yeah.
If that loop was in fact
Yeah.
installed after because our house is 1952, so it had to be right around that timeframe
Yeah.
that the main was installed.
that's why we need to talk to an engineer about that. So-
But, I mean, to identify what engineer we want to work with is not necessarily a bad thing, but to get them involved before those valves are in and we know we have the ability to even diagnose exactly where the problem is. I'm not sure if we are requesting proposals for things we don't need or not, so that's my only concern to answer your question on that one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, but I don't think there's any harm in running both the short-term efforts concurrently with going with the long-term, trying to find an engineer, do the replacement,
Mhm.
see who the firm is, start troubleshooting some of these issues with them. And then in that same conversation, we have to have with the trustees in terms of wastewater replacement. If you want to do both.
If you want to do both.
If they wanna do
It's a
both.
bigger number.
It's a
but-
bigger number, and that's where, then we would be talking about combining the project into one and going out with a municipal bond vote
Mhm.
sometime this summer.
I don't, maybe, I think you're optimistic, because you gotta get it designed, you have to get your permits from the state, your design approved, but maybe when they do a design, the state's gonna have to review it.
Okay,
But
this
maybe.
fall.
I don't know, well, that's why you need an engineer, but I know in the past, that's how we had to do it.
So the first step is to issue the RFQ.
Yep.
And I will update this. That's why it's a draft, but if you want me to go ahead and pursue that, I can do that.
Yep, yeah.
Okay. And I think what would be helpful is I will update in this format every water commissioners meeting. So we can, so
And you have a paper
y'all
trail
can see
too.
the
Yeah,
progress happening, yeah.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
So I appreciate you guys approving that
Yep.
tonight, and I would just hope that, I appreciate all parties involved wanting to expedite installing those valves.
Mhm.
I would, with the filter systems, hopefully get installed in the next 2 or 3 weeks, strongly caution against, and I think that I think everybody made the right decision by not trying to do those in a couple-day period and when we had some warm weather, because I think if you're hammering next to those pipes, we're gonna make a bad problem significantly worse. So I would just wait.
Yep,
I mean, if
we'll get the
filter systems
filters.
are going in, just wait until all the frost is out of the ground.
It's gonna buy us time.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna be doing this for, I don't believe you're gonna do any dig until next year.
I don't either,
Valves
but,
and-
yeah.
But we know how long it takes to get projects going, so.
Yeah, I think that's just gonna make a bad problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could potentially make it significantly worse, and I don't know how you hammer next to those pipes and not crack something.
We don't even know what it is for pipe, it's probably cast.
Right.
Way back then, it's probably cast and it will break,
Okay.
guaranteed.
So I would,
Well, our hopes are the filter systems buy us the time to be able to do this, right?
yeah,
So-
like I said, we've done I trust Dan's Water Treatment,
Okay.
I trust both companies.
Okay.
Obviously, with that gap in price,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a small gap.
Yeah.
So,
Either way, thanks for doing the legwork on that, and
Mhm.
getting the numbers.
And we appreciate your patience. This has dragged on obviously way too long. I apologize for the board and all of us. It just kind of got away from us last summer. We kept hearing that we're flushing, and that's what we'd hear. And then when you came in November, we heard how
Yeah.
bad it was, so. But now we're on it. We got Penny on it, and she's gonna chase this down. You're welcome.
no, we appreciate
Yeah.
Penny's efforts, because I know that
No,
this was
thank
kind
you.
of thrown in her lap. and
No, well,
It's,
we're the water company. so
Yeah.
Right.
We sell water, so.
yeah.
All right,
We'll get there.
we good on that for now?
Mhm.
All right.
You're gonna order, or should?
We will.
I'll call Dan tomorrow, and I'll call his office tomorrow and kind of let him know what's going on, and then kind of figure on,
You
Ron and I
communicate
will-
with, yeah, Ron
We
and,
can,
You'll give him a heads up
yep,
that Ron will probably call.
okay. And Ron, I'll get you his number. Or I can, whatever works.
yeah, okay, you guys just get together. All right. Good. Municipal
Thank
manager,
you all.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
municipal manager update.
We had a successful town meeting last night. We have an operating budget. Water lines. A little bit worried that the frozen systems were springing up around town, but sounds like it's nothing that
it's
hasn't.
normal.
Yep.
It was winter we've had.
Yeah.
So we've had-
Yeah, it's been cold.
And it's been just one handful, so.
Good.
I know we're
Um,
near bad. been in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some,
Yeah.
One thing we didn't talk about was the, of course, this Thompson Orion project is also running concurrently. It's been submitted into the state drinking water revolving finance system. So it's into that.
How can it without any planning, any plans though? They usually need a complete set of plans and engineering before they can accept it.
A&E submitted
Okay,
something on our behalf.
okay. All right. I did read an email that you sent to the board where when Joe and the board members went to that meeting in Rutland, those several meetings, those did count towards our 75 points towards the drinking water grant award or process, so that's good. We got that confirmed in writing now, so
Yep. Yep.
thank you for chasing that down.
You bet.
and mentioning that, there was an engineer that led that class, and then I believe the woman's name from the state was Carmen, that was the one that ran the meeting.
I think so, yeah.
Both of them, were speaking up from time to time, saying, well, and if you ever need advice and you're chasing a mystery and you're not sure how to move forward, feel free to reach out, and things like that. So, I don't know if we have resources, because it sounds like mysteries with water systems happen to everybody. And trying to get to the bottom of these things, it sounds like you chase your tail and you fix something and it wasn't it. You fix something and it wasn't it. So that's kind of the core of what the whole message of that meeting or the training class was how do you decide whether you should just replace an entire street's main or whether you should just do 20 feet of it and refocus your efforts elsewhere. I don't know what our support is from the state. I don't know I don't know if there's anyone we can reach out to or have an engineer that we can just have a conversation with about better ways to chase problems. But I think on that email, I saw some names from the state that I think if you reached out to any of them, they might also have just a conversation, ready to have with you about how to look into more of this kind of stuff and choose what's the best way to spend your money.
You bet.
Yeah.
Yep. We've reached out to one specialist with the state, and he gave us some direction in terms of the extensive extra water tests
Yep.
that the homeowners wanted, where to make sure you are taking samples from your source. If you
Yeah.
know, just make sure that that's clean. And then from the
Just
two
as your
houses.
baseline, so you know where
as your
everything.
baseline.
Yeah.
Which we haven't done. So now that we have that, that's done. They did say that they would come out, so I just need to circle back and ask them to do that.
Yeah. Well, it just might.
Bring them in. Yep,
Just another person to bounce our troubles off of.
exactly. No, exactly. And the long-term piece, it really is that. I mean, the intention is, let's find an engineer that we can really help
Yes.
troubleshoot what's happening, and then figure out what that cost is going to be, because the preliminary cost that we were given for both systems was very, very ballpark.
Yes.
And so then maybe we can look to fund it and get it done
And I don't know if you.
in the next couple of years. I don't know. But it's a good start, I think.
And if this $6,000 into filter systems
Yep,
can get their lives back on track in the short term, that's great.
worth it.
Yeah, it's very worth it.
Okay. Other business? Anybody got anything? Nope.
But I will say, thank you to you for your years on the Water Commission.
Yeah, this is my last meeting. I was looking at my notes, and I came on in July of 2005, so I think it's time to let you guys enjoy the waterworks in your Tuesday nights, so.
I'm sorry, David, can we revisit comments from citizens?
Oh, yeah, it's not
Sure.
over.
Yeah, what do you got?
Hi, Alan Couch, 21 Meadow Street. Back in the fall, when we elevated our house, I arranged for my contractor to replace our water line and sewer line from the curb stop, and Joe and Tara were awesome in facilitating that. At the same time, I asked Joe about replacing the 75-year-old curb stop and the water line from the stop to the water main, which he thought was a good idea. So now the water survey, we have definite information instead of unknown for what those materials are. And they were incredibly cooperative and responsive. The water department, Joe and Tara, were
Good.
awesome in coordinating things with my contractor and getting things done in what I thought was a seamless fashion.
Good.
And David, thank you for your efforts. Ron, your help with disclosing of the materials as well. So the town has been awesome in the process of lifting our house up, and we certainly appreciate it.
Good deal. Thank
Kathy
you.
and I are very grateful, so thank you.
And we'll pass that along to
Yeah, that's
Joe and Tori.
Yeah, I told him, thank you very much, and Tara too. Tara's great. She's, seems to be assimilating into that position very well. And, certainly learned a bit on my job, so trying to school him on the job.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you.
Good deal. Appreciate it.
Not at all.
And
Thank you.
hopefully there's no more flooding in our future.
Hopefully we'll be sitting on the deck
You'll-
watching it
you'll-
go underneath the house.
Yeah, you'll be high and dry now.
Instead
so.
of through it. So,
Exactly.
Again, thank you very
Yep.
much.
Thank you,
Thanks
Mr.
for
Couch,
coming
for
in.
coming in.
You're welcome.
Oh, watch your hat.
Up your hat.
Here's your hat.
You need that, for
What's your
sure.
hurry? Set date for next meeting, it'll be April 7th. Possible agenda items, it'll be more Thompson and Orion and all kinds of things like that. You'll have a board reorganization, that'll be after village meeting, and you'll know if the merger passed. Now, so I want a question on the merger. You got a vote coming up on the village meeting. If that moves forward, that needs to go to the legislature, and they would need to act on that.
Before their session ends.
And their session ends in May,
Quickly.
June. And then if they did, and the governor signed it, would that take effect July this year, or it's another year out?
Year, we would go through fiscal year '27, which starts this July.
Okay.
It goes through one
All right.
full fiscal
So
year.
if they don't, the legislature doesn't get to it this term, does that back it off a year? You know,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yep,
The wheels of government.
no kidding.
There you go.
We will be cutting it close.
That was my question.
Mhm.
We signed the warrant orders. Need for executive session?
I don't need one.
No. Motion to adjourn.
I will move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There we go. Good.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.